Good day, everyone, and welcome to a Fastman Spotlight. I'm Brian Lapointe, joined by Renita Day, who's an expert ECM consultant from the Fastman Professional Services team. Today, we're speaking about the new release for the Fastman Bulk Data Manager CE for the OpenText Extended ECM platform. The intent of today's session is to quickly illustrate what's new and how the solution can provide you value. However, later in the month, we'll be hosting an interactive webinar for a deeper dive, so please be on the lookout for that invitation. And without further ado, let's get started. Bulk Data Manager CE is an ideal data transformation and migration tool for the extended ECM platform because it comes with several purpose-driven modules that let central IT safely enable their document controllers and their business users for the application. Unlike tools such as Object Importer, BDM CE is an out-of-the-box application that requires no custom coding or scripting. You can use it to migrate file shares from any Windows map drive, including other file sharing programs such as Box or even OneDrive. The low taxonomy module is very popular, and it lets you ingest a complete folder structure and assign category, attribute, and even records management metadata. If your content already resides in Extended ECM, the Update Attributes module lets you bulk update the attribute and records management metadata on your documents from a built-in spreadsheet view within the BDM CE system. Okay. Renita, let's just bring you in right here. Would you be able to describe the new deployment model and why it's so important for BDM?
Right. So the trend that we are seeing is a lot of customers are going for cloud deployment these days. They even have like code builds where installing anything or configuring a new module in Content Server is a little difficult. So our new BDM client comes with a setting service which sits outside of the Content Suite environment, right? So, and we use the REST and SOAP APIs that are provided by OpenText. So it makes the deployment really, really easy. And as soon as you put the setting service and configure that small, interface, you are good to go and start migration process. As simple as that,
That's great. Yeah, so you don't have to install anything in the OpenText content suite system anymore. Great.
No, nothing to install, nothing to configure.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for that update. This really, it seems to open up more deployment options and use cases for BDM, whether you're currently off cloud, on cloud, or maybe you're transitioning to the cloud and you need to run it in both environments. As previously mentioned, BDMs give central IT control to safely enable their document controllers and business users, right? So Renita, is this basically an example of how this is set up and configured in the system?
Right. So from the many customers that we have who are using it, we have, built the solution in a way that is catered to a very streamlined experience that you can configure using the profile. As you can see on the screen, each process that you talked about earlier can be configured, and you can set it up as you need it to be. If you want RM, you can enable RM. If you don't want RM, don't enable it, right? And that gives a very unique experience to the user when they do the migration, and it's all out of the box. So you really don't need to think about, hey, how do I do this? It's all part of the product.
Perfect. Thank you. Yeah, great points. Let's build this out. Next up, tell us about how BDM works from a document controller perspective, that end user, what their experience is like.
Right. So as an end user, I really don't need to worry about anything over here. I do what my screens are suggesting me to do. So I start a process, come to this particular screen, which is our inline editing tool, allows you to fill in the metadata and the information that you need to get into the Content Suite environment. And the best feature, I think, is our validation that you see right over here on the screen, which is a great thing to have because you don't want failures when you're running your migration process, right? You want to get that alert before it. That really helps out in reducing the errors and will reduce your recon effort and remigration efforts as well. So it's a great thing to have during the migration process, just to get that information upfront rather than getting into it at a later point of time.
Wow. Yeah. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Maybe talk about my favorite part here, the audit logs.
Mhm. Very clear statistics that you can see up here, right? So you can do a small migration just to get a feel of it, how much time it is taking, and then you can extrapolate that information to know how long your migrations would run. You can see the ongoing jobs and the completed logs, and a very clear statistics on how many of your files were ingested and how many resulted in failures, and even a very clear error message to indicate what went wrong, so that in your next migration you can sort it out. So very clean, easy to follow. Successful objects will have a link so that you can directly go there and see where it has been ingested, right? So I would say, you really don't need to do anything with this log. You can just read the statistics and get going.
Yeah, I just like it. It shows you success, so it gives you that validation, the confidence level that you did the right thing. Okay, and finally, you got a few more finishing thoughts?
I think they can be used for a lot of different use cases, whether you are an extended ECM user or just content suite, plain old content suite. I think there are enough use cases that can be accomplished by our tool. And we'll talk about a little bit about it during our webinar. So we'll walk you through, a few use cases there.
Fantastic. And that's basically a wrap. And I thank you for joining me today, Renita, and teasing the deep dive workshop we're going to do in a few weeks. And as everyone knows, for Fastman, we have a variety of add-on solutions for the OpenText Extended ECM and Content Suite platform. Feel free to reach out to us sooner if you have any needs. We're always here to help. Thank you so much.
Thank you.